Welcome to episode 322 of the Working Fans podcast. We're going to be talking Halloween Havoc. But Dave, I'm going to hit you off with something else I heard in wrestling.
Oh, shit.
WWE is talking about incorporating AI into wrestling writing. What do you think of the idea of this? I've heard some opinions so far.
It depends what you're going to use it for, I guess. I heard a rumor that, they were using it for storylines potentially and writing up, stuff like that. So far, those seem like AI doesn't seem ready for pro wrestling from what I've seen for stuff like that. Now, with some kind of graphics and, stuff for TV production, whatever, maybe. I don't know. I'm not qualified on that. So that could be what you use it for.
Yeah, I've heard they're using it in both, and it's kind of dangerous in using it in writing because AI is not always the most reliable thing. And sometimes, you've got to like double check the work. One thing I heard, it was probably post wrestling, that said they proposed an idea to bring in or to use Bobby Lashley as somebody who was obsessed with Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And on the face of it, I don't hate the idea. But because the reason it makes sense is if you look at him still being affiliated with MVP is definitely into Japanese culture. So there is a way it could work. It's not the most ridiculous, but you would have to take the idea that AI gives you and kind of shape it. And overall, from what I've seen of AI for writing purposes, definitely, giving it a second look doesn't hurt. Like you said, for graphics and things like that, it could work out. And that would, we'll have to see how it plays out. But I
wonder, to segue into Halloween Havoc, even though I heard it's going to be a little bit different now, but I wonder how it would help with, say, something like the Broken Universe.
Yeah, that's true, because let's get right into it, because tomorrow night we have a live watch along. If you've been paying attention to the shorts, we've been mentioning it every day. Dave and I really like Halloween Havoc. Got a soft spot for it way back from the WCW days. I like that NXT is using it. And it would be interesting to see if they incorporated AI into that, because so far a lot of the Broken Universe stuff has just been kind of like the Hardys' creativity around their home. So it's interesting to see where it could go. But NXT is tomorrow. Let's make some predictions.
Absolutely. Let's start off with a match that got added this past Tuesday. I love it. We're talking about Jervon Evans teaming up with the X Division champion Leon Slater to take on AAA's Mr. Iguana and La Parker. I'm going to go with Jervon and Leon here, but I think this is going to be a fun match.
Yeah, putting them against especially AAA talent, you're going to get, a more acrobatic match.
Yes.
Something lucha inspired. I guess, obviously Jervon and Leon Slater, we'll get that out of the way at first. I don't know if this was all in the plans when Dark State attacked them and ruined that match. I like this team coming out of it, but I hope that wasn't the plan going in.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know what to still think about that whole Dark State interrupting that match. At some point, we need to get Jervon and Leon Slater again one-on-one. But, I'll also be cool to maybe see them with the Hardys. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But, continuing on with this card, another interesting matchup that came out of Tuesday. Zarya is going to defend the Women's North American Championship for her partner, Sol Ruca, who is currently legitimately not cleared after injuring herself on a match on SmackDown. And she's going to be defending that title against Blake Monroe, the former Mariah May of AEW. I think this is a very interesting match. I think Blake is going to win the North American Championship here. And we're going to continue to tease tension between Zarya and her partner, Sol.
That's exactly where I was going with it. I see Blake winning the title, and then Sol being mad at Zarya for losing the title. And then it's, kind of Zarya's fight to get the title back, but then also fighting against Sol. So you got some interesting dynamics coming out of that.
We got more AAA talent on the show. Dr. Ragnar Jr. versus Ethan Page in a Day of the Dead match for the North American Championship. Huh. Interesting. The fact it's a Day of the Dead match. It's for Ethan Page's North American title. I'm going to pick Ethan Page. I'll say this sets up Ethan going to Mexico and trying to take Dr. Wagner Jr.'s title, EOD Dr. Wagner Jr., but I say he won't there, but he will win here.
I know, like, you hear Day of the Dead match and you want to give it to El Hijo, Dr. Wagner Jr., but Ethan Page can't lose it here. And I said in one of the shorts this week, I almost feel like Ethan Page in Mexico is going to be like NXT's MJF, the way he just draws major heat down there and the people eat it up. So I've got Ethan Page in this match.
All right. The Broken Hardys, Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy versus Dark State. This is for the NXT Tag Team Champions. The Hardys are the TNA and NXT Tag Team Champions. Now, I heard that despite the video we saw, Brian Alvarez was talking about this being a Broken Universe match, and Dave Meltzer said, no, he actually talked to Matt Hardy himself. This is going to be a regular match in the ring, and Matt wanted people to know that. Now, I would imagine it's going to be at least be a no DQ match because it says Broken Rules match. So something's got to be different about this. But I don't know. Maybe we better taper expectations if we were hoping for a Broken Universe match here.
That's exactly what I thought it was going to be. So, if anything, maybe slightly disappointed. I'm still looking forward to the match. It's not going to be the Hardys versus Team 3D, but yeah, Hardys are winning it.
Yeah,
I just wonder what it's going to be like. You already have the Day of the Dead match, so you kind of have your spooky Halloween themed one. So hopefully it's not something like that, but maybe it could be something along those lines.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Dark State win the NXT Tag Team titles back, only because it's just for the NXT Tag titles. But I'm going to be with you. I'm going with the Hardys, and I'm actually going to say that they may even get an assist from Leon Slater and Javon Evans. And eventually we're going to see those two versus the Hardys too.
That could be interesting. Now that I say it, like if it were a Broken Universe match, I would 100% say the Hardys. I'm picking the Hardys here, but I can see Dark State winning only because it's an in-ring thing.
All right. Ricky Saints. Actually, this isn't even listed as the main event. We'll see. Ricky Saints defending the NXT Championship against Trick Williams. Trick coming off now that successful TNA championship run. Will Trick win back the NXT title? Man, anything could happen here. I just feel we just put it on Ricky, so I'm going to say Ricky's going to retain here.
Yeah, I think Ricky wins, and this is Trick's last big thing in NXT before he goes to, we'll call it SmackDown.
All right. JC Jane, this could be the main event. JC Jane defends the Women's Championship against Tatum Paxley for the NXT Women's Championship. If you watched the show this Tuesday, they had a tag match. JC Jane actually did pin Tatum, which is usually a good sign if you want Tatum to win. But Tatum did also leave JC Jane laying afterwards too. It's an interesting matchup in the fact that it doesn't seem like the calling, Izzy Dame in particular, is really supporting Tatum. It seems like there's tension there, so maybe they'll turn on her. But Tatum really seems to have this connection with the fans. It's Halloween Havoc. She's kind of a spooky little character herself. I don't know. I guess I'll go for the upset here. I think it's a little bit of an upset. I'm going to go Tatum Paxley, who wins the Women's Championship at Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, just that promo they gave her in the ring and the fact that they're stressing this is her first PLE and I think 4 years of being with the company.
Yes.
Those kind of gave me the feeling that she'd be the women's champion. JC Jane hasn't been bad, but I don't think she stood out as champion. Tatum Paxley, that feels like something fresh. That feels like something exciting.
All right. That's all the matches then. That's going to be an interesting show this weekend. I'm excited. I'm still hoping we get some form of a broken universe match. Like maybe it starts off, on the Hardy compound and we end up somewhere. But either way, I'm looking forward to this show. I love the fact that we got AAA, TNA, and NXT talent all in one show. Feels more like a Worlds Collide, actually, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I believe they have done matches where it's a little bit broken universe, a little bit in ring, so we could see something like that. A lot of great talent on the show. Anything else in wrestling this week kind of catch your eye? Anything we can mention quick at the end here?
No, not off the top of my head.
From what I heard, Bandito Okada was a good match. That's something I kind of want to
match. Yeah. Yeah, Bandito Okada had a great match. Overall, they set up the tag team tournament for the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions this week. I know it's off the top of my head. Mercedes Moné and Athena are going to be a team in there, as is Toni Storm and Mina. So, they're on opposite sides of the brackets, so don't be surprised if you see them in the finals. But Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne are in this tournament. Queen Amamata and Jamie Hayter. So, a lot of good team for the women's in here. Harley and Will Nightingale. So we'll see who ends up winning.
Do you think AEW needs women's tag team champions?
No. But
look at how they've been treated in WWE, the bigger company, and they haven't been featured. I hope for big things, but it's one of those things that it's like, I don't know if it's needed, and I hope they keep up with it well, because at least this tournament is shaping up to be something.
Yeah, I mean, you could get rid of some titles in AEW. I don't know what the unified championship is for Okada. I mean, usually a unified championship is a unified world championship. He had
that was that international. It's like kind of that mid-card title that they had one of, then they had another one of.
You could have had the TNT championship defended in it. You could have had a tournament just called the Continental Classic, and you could have had the TNT championship be awarded in a winner. You know what I mean? And you could have just kept one title and still had this cool tournament in it. And you would have had, 2 less titles and put more importance on that TNT title. Yeah, it's just a thought.
Yeah.
So I would start with that. It's always good to give the women equal chance. You have men's tag teams, but yes, I guess my answer is I'm cool with the women's tag titles, but I think we need to eliminate some of the titles. There are too many titles in AEW right now. Too many titles in wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, AEW's coming off a good run. WWE's been doing well. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., guys. A little bit earlier of a pay-per-view. Not mad at it, but so often with pay-per-views, I'm ready for 8 o'clock. Wanted to get that time out there. And something else I wanted to get out there is some of these great people we talk with. Author Ray Lopez presents Lockup, Professional Wrestling in Our World. Lockup dives headfirst into the colorful world of professional wrestling. Explore the iconic characters, careers, matches, history, and families, and delve into the bizarre and fascinating entwining of professional wrestling and film, television, football, politics, gender, and race. Pre-orders are available now on Amazon.com or at MascotBooks.com. This is the perfect gift for the wrestling fan in your life. Pick up a copy today on Amazon.com or at MascotBooks.com.
Hey fans, it's the man they call Dave with producer Joe, and you probably know us as the commentary team for New Heights Pro Wrestling, but when we're not doing that, we got a podcast.
That is the Working Fans Podcast, where we talk pro wrestling, comedy, MMA, and so much more.
And tell them about that signature segment.
Oh, you talk about the 531?
You know I am.
That is a homegrown creation that has been our namesake. And if you want to know our namesake, we got Chevy, AJ Strange Brew, as well as the two of us.
And why don't you go to our channel, like, subscribe, show us some love.
Rate, review, all of it.
Read about the Northern Wrestling Federation in the book presented by Russellville.com, The Pro Wrestling Vault, Volume 2. Hear the story of Roger Ruffin, the man who trained Carl Anderson, the Monster Abyss, Jordan Clearwater, Chris Harris, and Jillian Hall.
Plus 45 other short stories including Jazz, Bobby Eaton, Kamala, Thunder Rosa, Mario Mancini, Scott Casey, PJ Black, Kerry Morton, Sal Renaro, Jeremiah Plunkett, Colby Carino, Bam Bam Malone, and many others.
Get your book today at Russellville.com. Russellville, it's where wrestling lives.